He's saying this is our Secretary of Health. It was like a foot and a half. He made sure to dunk his head under. Oh, dude, speaking of Secretary of Health, I know, Callie, you just sent me this, but I did want to talk about this. Yeah, so Mr. Fauci ouchie is
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
is getting
Breaking news to share.
nothing says honesty.
Stop. Please stop. Holy fuck. Autoplay pisses me off.
You like taking the fifth, huh, Doc?
By the way, Holly, let's take a look at Holly. On COVID in 2021. Focus of the COVID-19. Is this U.S. Senator Josh Hawley questioned Carrie the User's chief of staff, former National Institute. Yeah, is your model just looking? Oh, sorry, my bad. Is your model? It's just your model, by the way. My bad. Anyways, this fucking loser, this Republican loser who was anti-vax and anti-mask when COVID was getting really bad, grilled Fauci for taking the legally respectable Fifth Amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc?
You can't say that. You literally cannot say that. Taking the fifth is a legally protected right.
Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
Yeah. It is a legally protected right.
So based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
And at the end of the day, I need to see more information about the lab leak stuff. But remember, Fauci was actively trying to help people during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing.
And this is also due to Rand Paul as well. Spent nearly 4 decades the government's top effectives. Yeah, because Rand Paul does have an unhealthy relationship with focusing on Fauci. Oh my God. He invoked the Fifth Amendment 100 times. Jesus fucking Christ.
Things straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you.
Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million.
Sir, your boss raped children on Epstein's Island. After hurting his attempts to save lives. Yep.
Dollars. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you?
Also, by the way, the pardon that he got from Biden would not shield him at all.
That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of staff is the answer. Do you remember?
He doesn't have to answer any of these.
Patricia Conrad, who was that?
Instead, a senator Republican threatened to hold him in contempt of Congress after Fauci repeatedly invoked his Fifth Amendment right to... He was being accused of being contempt of court? You can't be! The subpoena Government Affairs Committee subpoenaed the retired health official to testify about the origins of COVID-19. And you are allowed to decline that. You are allowed to decline every single question from Congress. That is the Fifth Amendment. You are legally protected to do that.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
She was your personal assistant. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic in November of 2020 when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID? What were they doing?
What were you doing? What were you doing? Pushing back against mask mandates? Trying to prevent vaccine research? Your boss didn't like Fauci. You guys delayed notification to the American people that the COVID virus was in America and at a high scale. Thousands of people died because of people like you. Also, millions of people got sick because of people like you. We overworked healthcare systems. We damaged them. We inflicted trauma to healthcare workers because of people like you who are anti-vax that protect those who do harm.
I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here, right over my shoulder. Volker says, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award for Fauci. We need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to
This dude right here, by the way, is absolutely cackling.
the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award. 900.
I think Fauci deserves that. I'm going to be honest. Worked during the AIDS epidemic, worked on COVID.
$1,000 cash award.
Your president is a pedophile billionaire.
And he
That's how I would respond. Your president is a pedophile billionaire. Also, I invoked the Fifth Amendment.
got it because he used federal employees to get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time
Yeah, he's fine. You can do this.
using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder. Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service, you've got the Adelson Prize, you've got the Smithsonian Award, you've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award, you've got the CDC Foundation. In fact, you turned your staff into a full-time application machine. You actually wrote to people and said, do you think maybe I'd qualify? And you got cash for all of this. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
There's a reason why they're pointing it out like this, because it's not like it's under investigation rather than being proven fact.
Based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Here they are right over my shoulder. Here's all of them. The people that you use, federal employees, so that you could go and get cash money. And the most hilarious part is that you weren't content to even dragoon them into applying for all of these cash awards. You then had them go out to the ethics agencies and ethics watchdogs and demand that you be able to get the money. That's right.
Okay, I think... Jesus Christ, dude. Josh Hawley's website is blowing up. I need to see, like, some, like, genuine information. All of this is coming... Dude, this is why I need... Can somebody get me a Ground News subscription, please? Like, this shit's starting to piss me off. The fact that he's building this up so much is just pathetic. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I guess I do kind of care where COVID came from, if it was a lab leak or not, just because I'm interested in it. But at the end of the day, what I really care about is the response of government officials. And every single Republican failed and every single Democrat tried to do something. Fauci worked his fucking ass off. I'm sorry, but he did as much as he could.
We've got it in your emails. Your staff and employees on federal time, using federal resources, being paid with federal dollars, are soliciting cash for you. And then they're turning around and saying to the agency, we don't want just an answer. We want to get to yes, because Fauci wants the money. He wants it. We want to get to yes, and yes takes time. This is your chief of staff again, using federal email to pressure the agency's own ethics people so that you could get money, so that you could get rich. And if
Yeah, Fauci, bro, not only is your leader, PDF billionaire, you paid attention to what he's been doing with trillions of dollars. True.
violated the law, didn't it, Dr. Fauci? Didn't it?
God, this
so
guy is
focused on getting every award.
This guy is such a fucking sick fuck. I'm just double checking something. Yeah, Josh Hawley demanded the end of transition treatments for people in federal prisons and called it child butchery.
Award and every drop of cash that you could.
This guy, his wife. I'm gonna be so real with you guys.
All because you wanted to be on TV. You wanted to be the sun god of science. You wanted to be the guy who was in charge of it all. You wanted to blambast Trump. You wanted to make sure.
Because, like, look at this shit, dude. More shit. I mean, all of this is just distraction from Epstein files. Because this shit is ridiculous. WHO response to COVID-19 was an abject failure because it caved to pressure from the Chinese Communist Party, placed China's political interests above the international duties. No, it didn't. 6 feet apart social distancing recommendation would shut down schools and small businesses was arbitrary and not based on science. It was based on science. It was based on the best available science. There was no conclusive evidence that masks effectively protected Americans from COVID-19. Actually, there was significant information. We did as much as we could. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, March 25th order, which forced nursing homes to accept COVID-19 positive patients, which was a medical malpractice, even shows that Mr. Cuomo and his administration worked to cover up the tragic aftermath. Yeah, dude, Cuomo was endorsed by Trump. So this is why I get frustrated when people don't 557 pages. Oh my lord. Might have mentioned in commentary the political or proximal origins of COVID-19 virus last week. We've been incorporating some critical changes, the reviews, comments. I like, obviously it started in East Asia, but like, come on, dude. Measure of coercing, colluding with the world's largest social media to censor all COVID-19 related dissident. Yeah, because guess what? You guys are fucking trying to like get people murdered. Like genuinely get people murdered. I don't even know, man. NIH produced funding over HSS. And the thing about it is like, sorry, I didn't finish my point. When you don't understand how science works, this shit sounds really good. Especially this part, COVID-19 misinformation, because it kept on changing. Things change so frequently in the medicine world. Dude, I see medications come through and go off like all the time, where people stop taking them all the time and start taking them out of nowhere all the time. Because research changes. We see something works better than something else, and we go back or we go forward to something new, or we go back to something old if new information comes to light. Like, guys, science is not perfect. It never will be. Fucking 500 pages of just slop, man. Like, I think this is like important for the House to do, but why can't we do this about, like, are we going to do this about the Epstein files? No? Okay, then why the fuck are we caring so much? I think the Epstein files are much more important than this shit. Objectively. Yeah, dude, Facebook groups ruined America. I think we need to ban Facebook groups. Can we just ban Facebook groups, chat? Is that something we can do? Can I do that? Can I unilaterally ban Facebook groups from the world? No one's allowed to join a Facebook group anymore. If you join a Facebook group, your phone is exploding in your pocket. I'm saying it here and now. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it now.